curious about something. When it comes to investing in what you need to grow your business, are you showing up as a CEO or as an employee? Hey there, I'm Nafissa Shireen and welcome to Living Forward TV, where we help you to create a thriving business you absolutely love all around your personal freedom. And as we discussed in our last episode, true freedom starts on the inside. And one of the most important internal shifts that a new entrepreneur can make is to take their employee mindset and leave it at their job and to step up as the CEO of their business. I want to share with you a personal story about my nephew. It's quite metaphorical, and I know it'll really drive this point home. A couple of years ago, he had just moved out of home. It was a few months later, and he sent me a panic text in the morning because his fridge had broken down. And I could see he was really stressed out. I could feel it right through the phone. And while I was contemplating what I could text him back to ease his mind, it wasn't even 5 minutes later, he sends me another text saying, "It's okay. I called maintenance and they're going to replace it this morning." I could just feel his instant relief through the screen as he realized that, well, this broken fridge just wasn't his problem. I had a really good chuckle about that because I looked around my own home and we built it brand new about 10 years ago. And so all of our appliances are completely out of warranty. And when they break, they will be my problem. And so I reminisced a little bit about the days when I was a tenant and I had nothing to worry about paying my rent. If something broke, then somebody fixed it. If it snowed, somebody shoveled it. If garbage needed picking up, somebody else arranged it. I had no ownership, and therefore I had no responsibility, and I had no financial risk. It was a real rude awakening the first time I became a homeowner, and suddenly I was responsible for everything because there was no more proverbial somebody. Although my husband might say that's him, but you get my point, right? I got to thinking in that moment that many new entrepreneurs go through something very similar when they first leave their jobs. Like, think about it. When you had a job, the risk and responsibility fell to your employer, not to you. You had no expenses related to the business. And if you needed anything like training or mentoring, they paid for it. If you needed tools to do your job or something to make your workspace more comfortable, not only did they pay for it, someone else likely ordered it for you. And if your role, like mine, was strategic and to develop the company, well, then you would only implement once the board of directors approved the budget and the work plan and released the funds. And if your employer didn't have the immediate cash to fund all of the initiatives to grow the company, well, then it was the company's problem. They borrowed the money or they raised the capital, and ultimately, the one with this responsibility was the CEO to make sure that they met their goals. When you become an entrepreneur and you make that decision, all of that changes. You're now the CEO. It's like that tenant making the decision to buy their first place. You're crossing a threshold and you're accepting full responsibility for every outcome in your business. And many new entrepreneurs aren't ready for what that means. And when it comes to investing in what they need to grow their business and to market their business, they find they just can't bring themselves to do it. Things I will hear from clients or colleagues are things like, well, my spouse and I discussed it at length, and it's not the right time, or I can't afford it, or I want to wait until my business has such and such in revenue, or I prefer not to borrow the money, so what I'm going to do is wait until I have a reserve of cash. These are all very common. Have you ever found yourself justifying these same types of reasons? It is so easy to talk yourself out of taking action to drive your business forward because you feel you're being responsible, when in fact, those thoughts and decisions and actions are coming from a place of fear and a lack of long-term planning. It's wanting your business to give you something first before you give the business what it needs to succeed. And quite frankly, it's thinking like an employee. As an entrepreneur, that kind of thinking will kill your business. If you're not willing to stand behind your business, who will? One of my very early mentors always says that how you do money is how you do everything. And so if you aren't prioritizing your business financially, where else aren't you prioritizing it? What are your daily habits with your business? And how is that showing up in your sales and money-making activities? The thing is, and I'll bottom line it here, if you need something for your business, you need it. It's plain and simple. And by waiting until your business grows and increases their cash flow before making the investments you need and before taking action, you're going to find that you never actually do grow to the point where you can afford it. And that's because by holding back, you've basically tied your own hands and you've limited your growth and you've limited your income potential. In the long run, these decisions actually cost you even more money. They cost you in lost revenue, lost business growth, lost opportunity. It's so paradoxical. By not investing in your growth because you haven't grown actually means you'll never grow. It's no different than a homeowner not making needed repairs or upgrades to their home. Eventually, that decision to save a little bit of money in the short term is going to cost them a lot more money in the long term. The key to achieving the freedom you want isn't to make decisions from where you are right now or from what your current circumstances are. It's to make decisions from where and who you ultimately want to be. It's about showing up fully as the CEO of your business and prioritizing what's right for your business first and foremost. It's about giving your business everything it needs so that it can succeed and so that it can take care of you. Now, that being said, I absolutely don't advocate spending or investing haphazardly without a plan. You need to have a structure for return on investment. Any money you invest in your business needs to be taken very seriously and planned out strategically. Now, that's thinking like a CEO. In the show notes, I'm going to link to 2 previous episodes of Living Forward TV where I help you with making money decisions and planning your cash flow in a way that really aligns with what you truly want without putting you in any financial jeopardy. And to make it really easy on you, I'm including both the handouts from those 2 previous episodes in our freebie today, and it's right below this video so that you can click on the link, get the handouts, and you can start planning. The thing to remember is that if you're serious about growing your business, you're going to be stretched. You'll need to make decisions that sometimes outright scare you. You'll need to take calculated risks, and sometimes you're going to need to borrow money. At the end of the day, though, these business expenses and investments aren't about the money going out. It's about getting what you need. I mean, is that team? Is it equipment? Is it training? Is it mentoring? Is it supplies? Is it inventory for your store? It's about what your business needs so that you can make money and meet your goals. And just like that tenant who upgrades to home ownership needs to take full accountability for everything in the home, when you make that leap from employee to entrepreneur, it's time to leave your employee mindset behind and step up as the CEO of your business. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with someone who you know needs it and subscribe to my channel. And I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you found most helpful and most inspiring today, and I'll make sure to respond. And if you have more questions or you need more help, then I'd love to invite you to join me in the free Living Forward Facebook community. I come to you live each week on After the Episode, and I take your questions. It's also a great place to network and grow your business. Simply go to livingforwardcommunity.com, click the Join Now button, and I'll see you on the inside.